alone up here. Give me some. Where's Sergio?
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think this man needs any introduction, but you know, comic books and hero night, we gotta have the man, Stan Lee, everybody, make some noise! Hey, Stan, good to see you again. Always great to see you, especially in a Giants uniform. What do you think? Looks pretty good right there. Well, we're going to get things rolling because I know time is very limited here, and let me just adjust the sound just a little bit here. I know we have perhaps another special guest joining us in just a little bit, but I want to just get through some of our questions. Oh, why is this ringing? All right, there we go. All right, I could project. Actually, you called me Super Voice last year. You said, Stan, can you give me a superhero name? And you said, you got a great voice. You are Super Voice, moving buildings with your voice, so thank you for that. All right, everybody.
But don't out-talk me, or you'll be in big trouble.
Oh, I know. You got it, sir. Well, thank you again for joining us here at AT&T Park. I know we are ready. The fans are very anxious, and they love it when you're here. They can't wait. They've been waiting in line for hours.
What can I tell them that they haven't already heard? My life is an open book. Turn to any page you want. I'll see you around.
Oh, we love your wit and your humor. You're so fantastic. I'm going to ask a couple questions.
I'm adorable, actually.
And then we're going to let the crowd ask some questions too. But let's talk about, of course, the latest Avengers movie. How many have seen the latest Avengers movie? Did you see our superstar?
Oh, yeah!
Let's get into the cameos, because everyone wants to know. How did the cameos come about for all these films, most of them, with you, Stan?
Well, they say to themselves, Stan is obviously one of our greatest actors. So what can we give him to do that's more difficult than anybody else could do? And that's what I end up with. The role that no star would take, because it's too difficult.
Right.
As you probably noticed in the Avengers, the amount of acting, the practice, the rehearsing, don't even ask, don't even go there.
I think he deserves an Academy Award for his cameo. I know these fans will vote. We don't need the Academy. We'll vote for you, Stan.
There should be an award for the best cameo of the year.
Sure.
I have no competition. Nobody else is dumb enough to do them.
Stan, let's look back at your illustrious career, your ideas, your everything coming to life in movies. What do you think now? The Marvel franchise is just so large. It's billions of people around the world are watching it. What do you think? What's going on through your head? Seeing what you have come up with and created, and now it's on the big screen. There are characters brought to life. I mean, they are incorporated in theme parks. What are you thinking about all that, Stan?
I'll show you why I'm such a good interview subject. It's nice.
It's okay, right?
Nice.
Well, tell us any particular character. I know everyone asks you, but do you have a particular favorite? There's so many good ones.
Me! My cameos. I don't know why they don't get more advertising. You know, you never see my cameo in the trailers, and that's something I'm going to talk to them about.
Yeah, let's make a phone call on that. But you know, we're going to open it up to questions and answers in a little bit, but we
I'd rather do yours. Yours are easy. I don't know what I'll get from them.
Let's talk about Ant-Man coming out soon. Who's ready for Ant-Man? Any cameos, any thoughts, anything you'd like to share to the fans who are anticipating in July Ant-Man?
I'll give you a little inside information. Ant-Man is very small. In fact, they have an Ant-Man poster that I saw inside. It's the funniest thing. A big white poster, and it says Ant-Man. And there's a little black speck on the poster. That's Ant-Man. It'll be a collector's item.
Absolutely. And actually, they're going around, Stan, I don't know if you know, but there's a life-size Ant-Man billboard. So imagine an ant watching a billboard, and it's all the way around. It's floating around. Make sure to take photos of it. It's fantastic. How about San Francisco? Do you have any fond memories of San Francisco since we're here in the beautiful city?
Is that where I am now? Oh boy, it's a great city, yeah. Wow, I love San Francisco. See, I'm from New York originally. And San Francisco is the closest you can come to New York without going to New York. So I love San Francisco.
Let's talk about maybe, what about the backdrops here that are so nice? Because they've been in movies of yours, of course. What is it about San Francisco that's gorgeous, the Golden Gate Bridge? What would you have a comic book hero do at the Golden Gate Bridge? You could think of something new.
Jump off. He'd have a fight on the Golden Gate Bridge, and the villain would fall down and be killed, and the hero would say, "Ha ha, I win."
I love it. I love it.
Boy, do I know how to write dialogue.
Talk about. Let's share with the fans here, kind of, how you came about these characters. Like, did you imagine, that you would be doing such a great thing down
Oh, I always knew I'd be great, of course.
But how did the concept come about? Like, did you sit down one day, you looked out the window and said, "I'm going to create this"? Tell us, years ago, how did this magic happen? How did it come to you?
Very simply. I was working for a publisher, and it was my job to dream up the characters, and I didn't want to be fired. So I'd better come up with the characters or he'd have fired me, and I didn't know they'd become so famous and someday I'd be interviewed here and with all you people. I was just making a living. I didn't want to lose my job so I could pay my rent, so I came up with these stupid things. I don't know. I'll tell you a funny story. When I had the idea for Spider-Man, I told it to my publisher, I said, "I got something different for you. It's a guy, he's only a teenager, and he'll be called Spider-Man. He'll have the power of a spider, and he'll have a lot of personal problems." So my publisher said to me, "That is the worst idea I have ever heard." He said, "First of all, people hate spiders. You can't call a hero Spider-Man. He can't be a teenager. A teenager can only be a sidekick. And what do you mean he'll have personal problems? He's supposed to be a superhero. They don't have problems. Don't you know anything about superheroes?" And he just kicked me out of the office. Well, I couldn't get Spider-Man out of my mind. So I threw him in a book we were going to kill anyway, called Amazing Fantasy. When you're going to kill a book, nobody cares what you put in the last issue. So I featured Spider-Man and put him on the cover. And then the sales figures came in, and my boss called me into my office. "Hey, Stan, you remember that Spider-Man character of yours that we both liked so much?" I swear. Let's make a series, and now you know the true story of how Spidey was born.
We're so glad that happened. I'm going to ask one more question. I'm going to open it up to the folks here. But if you were to invite any of your characters to dinner, which character would it be and why? Why would you have them over for dinner? Any of your characters?
The Black Witch.
Okay.
She's prettier. I have to look at somebody across the table. I'm not going to look at the Hulk.
I think that's a fair answer, actually. That's great.
Try to be fair.
Well, let's open it up to some Q&A. We got some folks over here. Paul over there. Go
No
ahead.
tough ones.
No tough ones, okay?
A superb 76er and wonderful warrior was World B3. Spectacular superheroes were created by Stan Lee. Were any of your superheroes based on athletes, and who are your favorite teams and players?
Okay. Any of your characters based on athletes, and yeah, basically, are there any of the characters that, or do you have any favorite sports teams?
Well, I'm trying to come up with one based on Sergio. Give me a little time, but no, none of them yet have been based on any athletes, I'm sorry to say.
Okay.